Good afternoon, world. It is moments past noon here in Waxahachie, Texas, deep in the heart of the Lone Star State. Today is episode number 139 on April 30th, our last show of the month of April. We broadcast live, as always, from our downtown studios in Waxahachie in the shadows of the historic Ellis County Courthouse. And as always, I'm your co-host, Jeff Lynch. Our man Sam Brooks is manning the board and doing many capable things behind the scenes and making insightful comments during the show as needed and called for. And to my right, in his Buffalo Sabres baby blue. Oh, my wife loves me in baby blue. I wish I had that ensemble. Scott Brooks.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. This is a golf jacket. Unreal Golf, it's called. If you ever saw me golf, you would know it's very real, very ugly. Anyway, thanks for being here. As you know, we do this show every Tuesday, Thursday, noon to 1 o'clock Texas time, which is Central Standard Time. We have a lot of fun. We talk about a lot of things, a whole bunch of things, and we've got just I don't know that I've ever stopped and said,
plethora.
I don't know if I've ever stopped and said, well, I don't have much to talk about today, but if I did, it wouldn't work out that way because something happens. A lot of things happen just as we head over here or are doing our prep. So we are on Substack.com with all of our content, including these videos of the show, our columns, content that Sammy provides, and then we're going to be adding. We got to remember to add your column, Sammy, to our Substack package. That's what we'll call it. And for $5 a month, you can get it all. So if you go to substack.com, search Grit and Good News, you can, for $5 a month, get everything that we do there and then some. You get an email Monday morning early and Friday morning early every week. And that's new content that you will get both of those times. So we appreciate you being here, and we have a lot of fun with the interaction that we get on the show. So we start always with Sammy going out in the world and finding the famous, well, some of them are famous, but from a different generation, so we don't even know who they are. But we take the number of our what is this show? Our segment? No, not our episode. Yeah, that's what we call it. This is 139, so we take 39 and say, Sammy, find those players that wore that number. So NFL.
Yep.
Did Marshawn Lynch wear 39?
He
No
wore 24.
relationship to me.
He wore 24.
Oh, I wasn't even close.
No.
39. I don't know what 39. I
Me
don't
neither.
think.
But I'll start with Larry Csonka, fullback.
Zonka
for the Dolphins.
for the 14-0 Super Bowl.
We got Steven Jackson,
Yeah.
Rams running back, and then Kermit Alexander, 49ers defensive back.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do many imitations. Rita doesn't like it when I do it, but here's one of them. Hi, I'm Kermit the Frog.
That's good. That's a good one. All right, NBA.
39. That's a weird number for the NBA. I don't know.
Dwight Howard wore it later in his career for the Lakers. Jeremy Grant wore it for the 76ers, and Caldwell Jones wore it for the Bulls.
And Caldwell Jones also, he played for the Sixers when they were very good. You know, the interesting thing about who was the first one you mentioned?
Dwight Howard.
He played for how many? I don't know how many teams the dude's
Didn't he
played
play for the Mavericks?
I don't know.
Probably.
But he's worn every number almost you can think of.
Yeah, it's kind of like Shaq. All right, MLB.
I wouldn't know.
Roy Campanella, catcher.
Yeah. Roy Campy
Campanella. For the Dodgers. Yeah. We got Dave Parker, Pirates outfielder.
Yes.
And then we end with Mike Greenwell, Red Sox outfielder.
Okay.
All right, NHL.
All right, NHL, as I told you earlier, Dominic Hasek, in my opinion, the best pure goalie in all of hockey history.
And his nickname was?
The Dominator.
The Dominator. And on the commercials that they'd have him, and he'd be all contorted, and the man with a slinky for a spine, 6 Vezinas, 2 Hart trophies, something else.
He was, and he wore a mask that was a cage. It wasn't one of those fancy masks that are all painted up. But he was awesome.
We got Doug Waite for the Oilers.
Dougie Waite, yes.
We got Logan Couture for the San Jose Sharks.
Yes.
And then Travis Green, Senators.
And Rick DiPietro famous for signing something. I don't know if I've ever heard this in any other sport. A 15-year contract.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. In y'all's opinion, who is the best goalie currently in the NHL?
Right now, well, there are a lot of good ones that are in the playoffs, obviously.
Is there
I got mine.
Uh, I
no?
mean, I
I'm
don't,
I'm
not one
going
stands out.
Connor Hellebuck
Who does he play for?
for the Wings.
For the
For
Wings.
the
Winnipeg Jet,
Winnipeg Jets.
but he's not. They're not in the playoffs. He was in the Olympics.
Okay.
But the real, obviously, really good ones are you can't win the Stanley Cup without a great goalie. So we'll see. But
So probably the Colorado one too is up there.
Well,
yeah, I'm not sure who that
Scotty
is.
Wedgwood was our backup, and now he's one of the. He's playing about half of the time at Colorado.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we'll just segue into the Stars. The Stars, I tell you, they had it right where they wanted them, and it's that old thing about they snatched the jaws of what is it? Snatched the jaws,
That's from the mouth of the.
snatched victory, snatched failure from the jaws of victory. That's saying it backwards. It's when a team has it and they blow it. So that's what in my opinion, that's what the Stars have done. They're going to have a heck of a time winning tonight in Minnesota.
What you meant was by going into that game with the record where the record was,
And they
but
were playing. I mean, they were up. They in game four they were up 2-1 with 2 minutes to go, got scored on, and then lost in overtime. And so now they come home and said 3-1. They came home 2-2 and lost. And so now they go to Minnesota with
yeah.
Minnesota, like just like last night, Philadelphia. It's the same setup. Philadelphia was up 3-2 on the Penguins and beat them, and so Philadelphia advances. I don't want that to happen tonight, but the Stars have played in such a way that they've set it up that way, and they can't score even strength.
So I was at that game 5, and I don't know how it looked on TV, but I didn't think we looked remotely like we were ever in control. We had a little lead at one point. I thought we were outskated. Uh, Time of possession was bad. The
Yeah,
shots on goal, I looked at it today. It was 28 and 22. I know there were times that we were down by 10
Oh
shots.
yeah, at the beginning they were getting all the shots they
yeah.
wanted.
Yeah,
It
It
took
just
us it
was
took us like a maybe half of
yeah,
the first
yeah.
period to
We
get
it
a
was
shot on
ugly. I
goal.
mean, the
we just
Stars.
weren't.
I mean, I'd say for me, half the games I watch, not half the games they play, but half the games I watch of them, I don't enjoy it. Half the games I do. I mean, yeah, thank you, Tammy. Snatch a victory from the jaws of
Yeah,
defeat. It's normally said the other way around.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So it seemed like they just they didn't have the intensity, and they're a team that thinks that we can turn it on and turn it off. We can turn it on when we need to. Well, why did you not need to then?
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm disappointed where the
Yeah,
Stars have found themselves
no doubt.
because that Minnesota's a good hockey team and they're at home where they're crazy.
If don't be careful, you could miss it. It's at 6:30 tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an
So we
early
got
start.
that. And then the Sabres, my other team that I love, they play tomorrow night in Boston.
In
They are
Boston.
up 3-2. The Sabres are up 3-2. We should have been able to close it out the other night, but it just didn't happen. Stars, I mean, the Sabres are fun to watch almost always. They are fast, they score, they can mix it up, and I love it. So we got those games going on tonight. In addition to the Stars, I believe it may be Vegas and Anaheim, or they may have played last night.
No. Vegas is
I'm sorry,
playing.
Vegas and Utah. That's
Yeah,
tonight.
they did play last night, and Vegas won it.
Oh, they did?
To get it back to being down 3-2, they were down 3-1.
Yeah. So we'll see. Big hockey night. Rangers won yesterday. They lost 2 games to the Yankees in this series of 3. So they're in second place. I looked it up this morning. They're 12 and 14, something like that. In second place in their division. And then they are on their way to Detroit. They play a 3-game series starting tomorrow night against Detroit.
We're
So we'll see.
15 and 16.
Okay.
Did you
That's
hear
what we're.
about Don Mattingly?
Yeah, he's been named the interim manager of the Phillies.
Yeah, he was the bench coach, and they
Mhm.
fired their coach after going like 10 and
Yeah,
12 in a
they're in
streak.
last place.
And so this is an odd situation.
Yeah.
Don Mattingly is going to be working for the general manager, who is his son.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
That's interesting. Yeah.
Sam, I can't wait for the day when your father is working for you.
That's got to be weird.
Now, I better hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there's the update on those sports. I do want to mention, not to the exclusion of the women of the girls softball success that we're having in Waxahachie. I think that that's become a pretty common thing in Waxahachie. When our baseball team, boys baseball team, does as well as it's doing now, that's something to highlight in my view. And so right now they're in the playoffs. Just won last night, was it Sam, or Tuesday night?
Last night, 2-0.
2-0. They beat Byron High School. They play again tonight here. I don't know if it's here in Waxahachie or not.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
know.
not. They with the win last night, I think that makes them 32-2. So they are stout and got a real chance to win state, which would be a big thing for Waxahachie. So again, congratulations to our boys baseball team, and good luck in the next throughout the playoffs.
Amen.
Let's see. So I think that's it. I got some things to say about the Kentucky Derby, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Super Flag. Sammy's been pacing the floor for the past 2 months, all worried that Cooper Flag wasn't going to win Rookie of the Year, that his college roommate was, and that's what's his name?
On Knipple.
And so I kept saying to Sammy, stop worrying about it. Cooper's going to win this. And sure enough, as that always is, I was right. Right?
You're right, but it was, I think, in the past decade, it was the second closest Rookie of the Year race.
Well,
So it was close. It wasn't, like Cooper ran away with it.
yeah. Part of that was because Cooper was out
Yeah.
for a while, but I don't know if the closest one was the Rookie of the Year, but when Jason Kidd and somebody else won it.
No, it was somebody else, but yeah.
Well, Cooper Flag.
Well, those two was Grant Hill,
Yeah,
Grant Hill,
and
yeah.
they were actually tied, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
won. They got co-rookies of the year. I think Cooper Flag, again. I'm going to keep saying it. I think Nico Harrison was a dope and screwed up the whole process. Ultimately, it's going to it's going to prove to be one of the best moves. And what I'm saying, get rid of Luca. The fluke was that we got the number one pick, and it was Cooper Flag, so there was luck involved here. But ultimately, the Mavericks are going to be a better basketball
Yeah,
team.
Jeff, when he went to the AAC the other night for the Stars game, sent me a picture of Mike Madonna. Was it Mike Madonna? And then Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper in the background. I texted him. I was like, Cooper, I really think if Cooper stays with the Mavericks, he will have a statue at the end of his
Yeah.
Well, I
career.
So they
mean,
got
it's
that.
possible.
The Madonna bronze is over to the left of
Yeah,
the Nowitzki, but they were flashing this billboard behind it.
yeah.
I
So,
sent this to Sam. Excuse me.
that's all right.
I sent this to Sam. Okay, so that award came on Monday night. This is the Tuesday morning Dallas Morning News. You see this big picture here of
Is that
Cooper
all they
Flag?
did?
Okay, big picture, and then you see this tiny little picture here of
Page.
Page on Media Day, and then you go inside, and then you see this nice half page of Cooper over here, and then this nice continuation of the WNBA article, and then the most of this article is about nobody's business but our own, because quite frankly, I can't believe that Azzy's personal relationship is nobody's business but our own. And so I don't know. Don't tell people you're a couple and then ask if people want to know how you're doing. And then, of course, this brilliant statement that me and Azzy have always been the utmost professionals. Always. I
Who are
think
you talking about?
this is
Paige.
Aussie Fudd.
No, but he didn't. I don't.
Okay, Paige
Paige.
and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And guess what? Ultimate professionals. Well, let's say this. She never played a professional game. How ultimate can that be?
yeah, I think I'm not into, nor have I ever been into criticizing other newspapers, other than when I was in Denver and we were competing with the Rocky Mountain News, uh, which is pretty nasty. But I'm not into criticizing other papers, even those that go far left, which I think I wouldn't say the Morning News is far left, but they're headed there, and that's an indication of it. Where they spend,
Yeah,
they give a blip to Cooper Flag, who will become he will be on the Mount Rushmore of Dallas sports, up there with
right.
Nowitzki, Aikman, Staubach, Emmett, you name it, Michael Young. He'll be there one
Right.
day. But and so they give all that space to the WNBA. That to me, now I don't look at everything through a political lens, but I do look at most things through a cultural lens, and that is an example of wokeness in your face.
No doubt. Now, me as a paid subscriber, I feel a right
Yeah,
to
you have a
make a
right. Yeah,
criticism, and just the same way as a season ticket
yeah.
holder, I can poke at the
You
Cowboys
have
harder
skin in
than
the
other
game.
people. I got skin in the game
Actually, we have a subscription to it, which I need to cancel because it's too much money a month. $25 or whatever it is a month is ridiculous.
for the.
The Dallas Morning
Are
News.
you getting it at the house?
No, I don't. We just get the digital version.
Oh, the digital.
And so, but that stuff drives me nuts. But anyway, Cooper
That's still a
Flag,
ton of money for digital, isn't
it
it?
is. It's a lot of money for
It,
digital.
it's gonna be great these next year or the next 10
If he
years.
can stay healthy, it's going to be a blast.
Him and Khan are gonna. It's like LeBron and Curry.
Well, I think for just the Mavericks, if they surround him with the right players, we haven't even seen him play with Kyrie, and I don't know how many more years Kyrie's got, but we're going to see a superstar if he can stay healthy. So, and then the other piece of the news from the Mavericks is that Klay Thompson is embroiled in all this nonsense about an affair with his girlfriend with his girlfriend's a rapper. Never heard of
Megan
her.
the Stallion.
Yeah, and Megan Stallion.
Megan the
And then
Stallion.
he supposedly, although they're denying it, I think,
I
aren't
don't.
they?
I don't think
She
Clay.
is.
I,
She is. She plays for the Seattle team of the WNBA, the one he's supposed to have an affair
oh,
with.
okay. I was about to say
So
Megan doesn't.
enough of that crap. Again, we're going to talk about the Kentucky Derby in a few minutes. So I do want to mention a couple of other Tarnations, and we're going to be making having some fun with the Tarnation segment of our show. A lot of shows have a segment where they just say, "Can you believe what's going on?" and they label it and brand it and then have fun with it. We're not into using WTF or anything like that, so we use Tarnation. What a Tarnation or what in Tarnation? I went and looked it up yesterday because I said, did Jed Clampett used to say what in a tarnation or what in tarnation? And so I went to AI and said, what did he say? And they said he always said what in tarnation,
What
never in
incarnation?
the
Yeah.
tarnation. So we're going to have some fun with that in the weeks to come as a brand. But I do have, I know you have one more too, I think, but I have
Oh, yeah.
Trader Joe's. For those of you, I think the closest Trader Joe's is up on 75 in Dallas. But Trader Joe's has been sued, and you would think, well, I wonder, it's got to be something significant to sue. I mean, you would think, you know,
Well, they're a national franchise.
I know,
Yeah.
but you would say that there's got for somebody to sue some big company, there's got to be something valid justifying it. Well, here's what Trader Joe's is being sued by. And I'll just read what this story says. I don't know where this came from, but the last thing you'd want to do is deprive a coffee drinker of caffeine during their morning routine. But that's what 4 plaintiffs think Trader Joe's did, and they're suing over it. The suit alleges the chain didn't disclose the lower caffeine content of its French roast low acid coffee, which contains about half the caffeine of the regular blend. The plaintiff's lawyer said it's standard for coffee makers to indicate a product's caffeine levels when some process, quote, some process is used to reduce the amount of caffeine contained therein, close quote. So Trader Joe's is being sued by 4 people for not having enough caffeine content in their French roast low acid coffee. Now look, I love coffee every so often. My wife drinks it. I could set the time of life by it. My wife's her alarm's gonna get off. She's gonna go turn on the computer. She's gonna go to the kitchen, hit the Keurig button, and no sooner than I blink, she's back in the room drinking coffee. Whether I drink a lot of it or I don't, you name put the name acid in anything that I'm supposed to be drinking, I'm not drinking it. Why would you even call something acid?
Here's the other thing. We like a dark roast, and we like the HEB house brand dark roast because it's way cheaper than everything else, and we're out of it. And Rita got some French roast, and we had it once, and we didn't like it. But guess what? French roast is inherently a more mild coffee than a dark
I,
roast. That lady should know that.
well, I mean,
She should know that.
attorneys
That's not going to stand up.
crack me up. Attorneys, oh yeah, they'll lose, but they're in the news, and attorneys crack me up. Not all, because I've known some very good attorneys and some of my friends, but there are attorneys that will take any case these days, particularly when they see dollars coming, potential dollars from a huge company. But there you have it. That's a tarnation if there ever was one. The White House ballroom, so we talked Tuesday about Trump being shot at or the assassination attempt, that the guy was staying in a room right above the Hilton Hotel's ballroom, for the lack of a better description. That room is very similar to what we would see at our own Civic Center, where they had that function the other night, where it was where the event took place and the assassination attempt took place. So that's kind of the setup. I've been in it, and then to make matters worse, the guy's staying in a room above it. So if he'd had a suicide vest or what you name it, he could have caused some serious damage because that roof's going to fall in. I mean, if he really thought it out well, he would have figured out a different way to do it. So Trump, that's not necessarily why Trump is wanting to build the ballroom. He's wanting to build the ballroom, one, because he's, and I mean this in a way that endears me to him. His ego calls for it, and because he likes big, magnificent, developed, awesome things. That's how he's made all his money all these years in development, and because he believes that we do need a ballroom worthy of things, whether the king and
Correspondence dinner
queen came
or king and
yesterday, and
queen.
then
Yeah.
the correspondence dinner or any other thing. But the left has gotten in the way, and these rogue judges have gotten in the way. So ultimately, the ballroom will be built. But
Particularly because that east wing is down.
yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
just I would love to see it. Having the opportunity to be in the White House, it'd be awesome to know that there's a ballroom there and just what it would make it look like. Yeah, so when I was doing the little research on it, it didn't take much time to do research on it. I came across a video of Johnny Carson, and maybe some of you have seen it, but in 1981, March the 30th, I believe it was, into March 1981, I remember vividly sitting in where I was going to school up in Oregon, sitting in the student center. The TVs were blaring, and they were covering in real time, even back then when we only had 3 channels. They were covering in real time the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan, in which 3 people were shot. 1 ultimately died, if not 2, from their injuries. Reagan was shot, seriously injured, in the hospital for 2 weeks, on the edge of death, as it were, the first couple of days. And the country responded unlike the country responds now. And so I came across this video of Johnny Carson, who was the premier he did was his called The Tonight Show with Johnny?
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah. So he is the ultimate king of the Tonight Shows. And Sammy's going to play it. And I'm just going to let it play out. But this is the response to President Reagan being shot. One of the responses, being shot in March of 1981. This is a response provided by Johnny Carson, which was in many respects representing the country. So play it, Sam.
I'm sure that all of you here and most of you watching tonight understand why we delayed this program for 24 hours. Because of the incredible events of yesterday, that old adage, the show must go on, seemed relatively unimportant. The Academy, ABC Television, and all of us connected with the show felt because of the uncertain outcome, as of this time yesterday, it would have been inappropriate to stage a celebration. But the news today is very good, as you know. The president is in excellent condition at last reports. He's been conducting business. And he happens to be in very good spirits. After all, you must remember this is a man who yesterday, while he was in the hospital unable to speak, wrote on a sheet of paper, "All things considered, I'd rather be in Philadelphia." So tonight the show does go on. Now, 2 weeks ago, President Reagan videotaped an opening greeting for this occasion. We were in contact with the White House about 2 hours ago, and it was the president's express wishes that we use that introduction. And I might add that you might like to know that he also asked for a television set in his room so he could view this program tonight. Actually, the president was in such good form today, I was very tempted to call him and ask him if he had any more of those one-liners that I could use. So it is especially pleasing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to say, here is the President of the United States.
Well, that
Oh my
and the
gosh.
sincerity, the
Yeah.
clapping by all people in that facility, that building. Imagine now we fast forward, 45 years or so. If that were, if, well, one, it wouldn't be any of the late night show guys, right? They wouldn't do that. And if anybody did and the left was in the room, they wouldn't stand up and clap. I mean, we saw them in the State of the Union not stand up for a young African American boy who was dying of cancer. They wouldn't stand for other things, other people that deserved recognition and honor. But that's the way that life was back then, and it was vitriolic. I mean, people on the left didn't like the platforms and the attitudes and the beliefs of people on the right, and vice versa. But we didn't see any of the stuff we see now, and I just thought you guys would enjoy hearing what was said about President Reagan, who was universally loved. I mean, he if there was a if I said to any one of you listening, or to Sammy or Jeff, and Sammy wouldn't have, just based on being young, wouldn't know. But if there, what other president out there was hated? Not as much as Trump. That's not possible. But what other president evoked, con, compelled, or provoked the kind of hatred for him as Trump? Who comes closest to that? And I don't know. I don't know who that would be. I mean, Ronald Reagan was highly successful until Trump, I would say, was the greatest president ever. And I'm focusing on the results and the leadership and that sort of thing, not on the histrionics and the drama and all that. I'm talking about really leading the country. I don't know. It would probably
Yeah.
be Reagan was hated to that extent, to a lesser extent, but still hated.
But you know, when you said that, I thought of this comparison. Although there was some hatred, I think Reagan, as a Republican, was not strongly hated by Democrats, just like Kennedy, as a Democrat, was not strongly hated by Republicans.
True.
Because their personalities, their persona, overcame all that.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, Reagan was, for the most part, respectful.
Yeah.
I don't ever recall a time when he was brash or crass
Yeah.
towards the other party. But he did have some, he had some
Well, of
things to
course.
say about them, and so that maybe that's where it comes from, is just the way Trump treats the left.
Yeah.
But Trump's been given a reason to treat the left that way, because the minute he stepped on those escalators in 2015, it's been warfare. Pardon the
Hmm.
euphemism there, but it's been warfare. And so Trump's developed this, well, I don't care if they're trying to kill me, I'm going to call them whatever I want to call them. But I wanted you guys to see that, and in hopes that maybe one day we can get back to that. And in one of my columns that will run in the next week or so, I do close with saying we need to just stand up for that. And it doesn't mean confrontation. Not every standing up has to be a confrontation, but it does mean that in my circles, or your circles, or anybody's circles, you say that's not acceptable. We're not going to go. We're not. No more am I going to be a part of that. So if you want to have those discussions involving hate and vitriol and nastiness and wishing the president were dead and all that, I'm not a part of it. I'm done with it. And more and more of us need to do that. So I wanted you guys to see that. Jim Comey, the director of the FBI, has been indicted twice now. The first one was, I don't know what word to use, maybe disqualified or thrown out of court, not for the merits of what he was indicted for, which was lying to Congress. It was thrown out because the judge said that the prosecutor that was bringing the case was not properly certified or authorized to do it. So we'll see if they come back with that one, lying to Congress. I I don't know which of these two would result in the worst of the two sentences, lying to Congress or making a threat on the life of the president of the United States. But he's being indicted now if you all remember, he says while walking out on the beach one day that he just happened to stumble across a bunch of seashells that were in the form of 8647. 47 is one of Trump's President 47, and he's President 45 and 47, which is unique.
Right.
86, as most of you probably know, if not all of you, means to do away with. In the gang world or the mob world, it means kill somebody. 86 them means
Yeah.
kill them.
In the restaurant industry, it's a common one that the waitresses will say, 86 tuna fish. We're out of tuna fish.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to know where 86 came from, so I did some research, and 86 comes from the mob world that says take that body or take that person 8 miles out and bury them 6 feet
Ooh, I
deep.
like it.
So, so Comey says he came across these seashells that just happened to be there. Somebody, not him, but somebody else just happened to on a beautiful sunny day out on the coast where life is bliss, and for me anyway, and stopped and put down 8647. So he then, as to your point earlier, and you can make it now, that was a story, a bridge to, hey Terry, bud, that was a bridge too far for me already. But then he decides to share it. So now he's being indicted for making a threat, a violent threat against the president of the United States. Now, I want you to weigh on it
Yeah.
after this video,
Okay.
but Sammy, I want you
Yeah.
to play the video of James Comey. So if you can get that ready, this is James Comey responding to the video. I'm sorry, the indictment, and just being hit. That's him. No, that's not him. That's Lee Zeldin. Oh, you don't. Well, James Comey came out on a video, and who was that? Okay, yeah. So he came out on video and said, in his arrogant, pompous way, "I'll deal with these people. I'm not, essentially, I'm not concerned about it, and do what you got to do." My hope, yeah, Sonia says 86 is take them to the train station like they do in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonder Comey didn't come out and say, I was walking down the beach and I just happened to see a banner laying
Yeah.
out here and said,
Yeah.
take it 47 to the train station.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. If he really did just see it instead of putting them in there, I mean, if you saw, man, I saw a lady take off her top at the beach, and man, I was just thrilled with what I saw. You don't have to tell everybody everything you see every minute of your life.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's just
it's one thing.
quit
It is.
lying.
Yeah, it's so for Comey to say, I didn't. He made it worse in that video, one of the videos, and I think he's even said this in a hearing. I didn't know what 86 meant. You're the FBI Director of the United States.
And why would you even put it in there? Then it
Yeah,
would be insignificant.
yeah. I don't know what it means, and I was just playing around. And sometimes I remember Mr. Buffett when he owned the Buffalo News, and I worked up there. He used to tell us in meetings, leave. Listen to. He would say, "Listen to me, y'all." He wouldn't say y'all, but listen to me. Leave bad enough alone. If you make a mistake,
Right?
don't make it worse by saying stupid stuff or doing stupid things after you do it. Just leave bad enough alone. Sammy, are you listening? Because that's a really good bit of advice. James Comey has made this worse because he runs his mouth. And he says, I didn't know what it meant. And I just happened to see a formation of seashells and blah, 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 blah.
And
You might as well
why
just
did you
say I did
say
it.
anything?
Yeah.
Why would you say anything?
Exactly. So I'm sorry I didn't have the video. I thought I'd send it over to Sammy, but I wanted to share that with you guys. Uh, Katie Porter is a candidate, one of the 5 or 4 candidates for the governor of California. We know what's his goober's name, Swalwell. It is so nice to not have to deal with that nonsense anymore out of him. But in his place is Katie Porter. Katie Porter is the woman who has been on video just railing on her staff, just brutal to her staff, swearing left and right, and so on and so forth. After Trump was attempted assassination the other night, she at that same night and then on Sunday, she put out 4 emails, and every one of them had the F word in it. Trump, do the F Trump, and when you consider something like that, and I'm sharing it with you because it is in stark contrast to what Johnny Carson was doing. That's the kind of response we're getting now, and we've seen even more people on the left talk about, well, that was staged. one of the ladies on The View, that was staged. And I'm just thinking, what in the
And I keep
world?
hearing that over and over
That it was
again.
staged?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, like, now I got a picture of the guy, if you've seen it, in his selfie, standing in the hotel room, loaded up with weapons. And you can see him all over his body. And so when this dude was serious about what he was going to do, he was dumb in the way that he went about it, which I'm glad. But I wanted to, as part of our Tarnations, wanted to mention just the response. But for a candidate for the governorship, she'll never win it. But being out there for anybody to say something like that in total apathy to the
Right.
president being attacked, is just blows my mind.
Sammy, you got that one on Ilhan Omar?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Scott. Do you think that Jazzy What a Crockett is no longer the #1 poster child for the left, and that Omar has taken over that position?
She's certainly slid right in there in
Yeah.
a very easy, natural way, hasn't she?
Yeah. Catch this one here.
Yeah. So the Ilhan Omar is the congresswoman from Mogadishu, Somalia, who married her brother so that she could have citizenship in this country, and is now a congresswoman in Minnesota. And she keeps winning because her district is all the Somalians that live in Minneapolis. This is her in a hearing talking about something. Just listen to what she says about World War II.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War II. Sorry. One of the most shameful chapters of American history.
You know what's shameful?
Good thing somebody piped in and helped her there.
Yeah, what's shameful is that anybody representing us, she's not representing us, but Jasmine Crockett was very close to representing us in terms of just proximity.
Right.
We know people that sat in her district. And so, Jake Elsey represents us, and there are things I'm sure Jake doesn't quite know, but when it comes to history of the United States, that's not one of them. But and Jake does a good job, in my opinion. But that's absurd. Now,
who does not know?
On top of that, Sammy, I want you to cue up. These are two more. These are cabinet men right now. Pete Hegseth and Lee Zeldin. We'll start with Hegseth. And I've been on this kick, as I just mentioned a minute ago, that we got to stand up and say, enough of you being able to get away with that crap. Enough. If a congressperson or senator in a hearing is spouting off lies, or they don't know something, they need to be called out. And we've talked about those hearings before. We've written columns and poems about those hearings where all it is a performative thing where these senators and congress people just get up and make a speech or want to be heard for 5 minutes and sound stupid and nasty and try to play gotcha, which is really all they do. Yesterday there were 2 hearings. There's another one today going on with Hegseth, but this is a hearing Hegseth was in yesterday about the war in Iran, and this is how he responded to a congressperson, congressman from California, who has been calling the conflict in Iran a quagmire. This is how Pete Hegseth responded to him.
I hope you appreciate how reckless it is. When I said reckless, feckless, and defeatist of congressional Democrats at the beginning, that came after watching you say the same thing on CNN this morning, a quagmire. My generation served in a quagmire in Iraq and Afghanistan, years and years of nebulous missions and utopian nation building that led us to nothing. What we have right now, the way you stain the troops when you tell them 2 months in, Congressman, you should know better. Shame on you. Calling this a quagmire 2 months in. The effort, what they've undertaken, what they've succeeded, the success on the battlefield that creates strategic opportunities, the courage of a president to confront a nuclear Iran, and you call it a quagmire, handing propaganda to our enemies. Shame on you for that statement. And statements like that are reckless to our troops. Don't say I support the troops on one hand, and then a 2-month mission is a quagmire. That's a false equivalation. Who are you cheering for here? Who are you pulling for? Our troops are doing incredible work. They've done incredible things for the entirety of this mission and achieved incredible battlefield successes. And you sit there and go on TV for your clickbait about quagmires. It undermines the mission. Your hatred for President Trump blinds you to the truth of the success of this mission and the historic stakes that the president is addressing, which the American people support. I hope you appreciate.
Don't we need more of that? Don't we need? And the only reason he was able to speak freely is because the congressperson who had just gone on his 5 minutes of BS
had no time left.
He had no time left, and normally they go right next to the next congressperson or senator. The chairman of the committee said, "Mr. Hegseth, I'm going to give you time to respond to that." So the congressman couldn't. Some do, most do, but he didn't interrupt Hegseth. And so Hegseth was able to say, I'm not going to accept it anymore. And that's what we need to see more and more of. We are represented in America. And I'm not talking about every district. I just said a minute ago, Jake Elsey, Jake has his challenges. It's a tough job. He's learning while he's up there. I think he does well enough for me to support him and be on his side. Brian Harrison, on the other hand, who represents us at the state level, is a blooming fool. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, right?
It's
okay.
All right today.
He's a blooming idiot and doesn't know what he's talking about. And he lies constantly. The guy's bad news, personally and professionally. And so he sits down there and he acts a fool. And we need to say enough of that stuff. So that's what Hegseth just takes a beating in these hearings, because you'll see these Congress people say and senators say, "I'm claiming my time. I'm claiming back my time. I'm claiming," because they ask him a question, they don't give him a chance to respond. They're playing gotcha. The next one I want you to hear, Sammy, if you'll cue up Lee Zeldin. So Lee Zeldin, for those of you that may not know that name, Lee Zeldin is a very sharp young man. He is the secretary of the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, in Trump's cabinet. He ran for governor of New York, and he's a conservative, obviously, so didn't fare too well. It's going to be hard for any conservative person to win a governorship of New York, of the state of New York. But Zeldin is as sharp as they come. He was a congressman before. He's in a meeting yesterday with a group, smaller group. It's a committee. It wasn't an open meeting hearing like Hegseth was in. And Hegseth was in that meeting with General Kane. They call him Raisin Kane, the guy who's really running the war in Iran. But Lee Zeldin finally, and he's done this before, but he has enough with this one congresswoman from, I think she's from Massachusetts. You will remember her after you see this, because one, she's in her 80s, I think. She looks like she's in her 90s, but she's into fashion. So she's wearing these big glasses sometimes. Her hair is always colored. She's wearing really wild, blingy stuff, which some in Texas would love. I happen to like fashion, so none of that bothered me. I think people that show that are self-confident. On the other hand, she's as dumb as dirt. And this is how Lee Zeldin handled her in a meeting yesterday.
Following the law, Section 202 of the Clean Air Act, where does it say anything about fighting global climate change? Loper Bright, Supreme Court case, you familiar with it?
No, I maybe others are. I'm not, but let me ask.
But that's really important. As a member of Congress, Loper Bright says that we, as an agency, don't have the authority to get creative. If Section 202 of the Clean Air Act,
no, but you don't have. Excuse me. You do not have the right to say climate change does not exist. That it's a hoax, and that's where this administration is coming from.
I understand you're upset that you don't know what Loper Bright is. Do you know what the major policies doctrine is?
I'm upset because
you know what the major policies doctrine is.
You know what, let me just
you're a member of Congress. You should know.
Do
you want me to tell you what the two biggest Supreme Court cases are of the last few years?
This is what I want you
Michigan
to tell
versus EPA.
Whoa.
West Virginia versus EPA.
You know, you're here because you need money from us. So halt for the second and wait for the questions and answer the questions.
Well, I answered your question,
no, you
and you didn't like my answer because you don't know what Loper Bright is, because you don't know what the major policies doctrine is.
And what you want to do is to deny.
No, I actually read the law. I do my homework.
Really?
You're just somebody who likes to have the microphone on. You know what I have to do? I read the law.
No,
I read the
Chairman,
Supreme Court cases, folks, at the EPA is that you wanted to fund us.
I don't have to listen to this BS.
BS.
Wait. Keep going a little bit more.
You think I made up these cases? Following the law.
There you go. So there you have it. Again, it's an example of a congresswoman in this case sitting there spouting off, just playing gotcha. And this, and the Zeldin, the cabinet secretary, says, enough. And my guess is that if there was a different protocol in these meetings, these hearings, which you ought to stop and watch if you get a chance, you'll learn a whole lot, both about temperament, about personality, and about knowledge, intellect. But if the protocol were different, where these people who have to sit there and listen to this nonsense were able to respond without being interrupted, we would learn just how dumb the people in Washington, D.C. are, or corrupt. We already know that part of it, but I don't think we know how corrupt. It's no different than with Omar. This is a woman representing supposedly Americans, and she doesn't know without being told that there was no World War 11, it was World War II. How that's horrifying to me. And it's no different than this lady not knowing what the very thing she's
Yeah.
trying to get him on. She doesn't even know the law that he has to follow.
The thing about these congressional hearings is they're always so contentious because they're always putting whoever they've called in on the defensive
Gotcha. Yeah.
and grilling them and making them look like criminals or villains. And
Yeah.
it's their, you know, when you're a senator, you're kind of a big thing. When you're a rep, you're certainly not that big of a thing.
Hmm.
And this is your chance to shine. You're famous. This is your 5 minutes. This is your
Yeah.
day in the
Well, that's what
sun.
Hegseth said. He said to that
Yeah.
congressman who's one of 435 up there.
Right.
Hegseth says you go on CNN, you spout off this nonsense just for clickbait, so you'll be noticed. In many respects, I think that's how Tallarico has gotten name recognition, because he just spouts off stupid stuff, which we're going to be talking more about him in the shows to come. All right, Sammy, I know I have the Kentucky Derby, and I know which ones I have left, because I don't want to miss them. We're going to go to rhyme time now, Jeff, because we have a few more things I want to close with today.
Rhyme time. Well, this was a last minute substitution on rhyme time when Scott told me that somebody that a beloved entertainer that I always loved had passed away, and that is
David
the
Allan Coe.
greatness of David Allan Coe. And so I want to read Playing in Heaven from October of 2020, talking about the deaths of three great musicians. And so I just scratched out a final last minute eulogy verse to go to this, and it's called Playing in Heaven. It goes something like this. Off to college in 73, going to climb the learning tree. Faked my way to a 2.7 GPA and was exposed to music I still love today. 2020 has been tough, most would say. Now, three of my favorites have this year passed away. First, the great John Prine, songwriter ever so fine. Then Big Charlie D, never a better fiddler, will you see. Now Jerry Jeff Walker joins this list. Like John and Charlie, he'll be greatly missed. All three performed a mighty long time, but it's by their attitude that they'll all be defined. A little bit rebel, a little bit an outlaw. They called the shots however they saw. They all could sing, they all could pick. I sing their songs by heart. They wrote lyrics that just stick. They're all known as musicians. I regard them as poets. They've inspired me to tell it however I know it. So, R.I.P. to three great men. A damn fine trio now plays in heaven. In heaven. You don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me by my name. David, today I called your name, mostly for your music, not for your fame.
Very good. David Allan Coe passed away today
R.I.P.
at age 86. One of his, I think he's most known. Well, he's got several hits, but he was most known for his 1983 song called "The Ride." And I'm just going to give you listen to these lyrics. Well, I was in 1983. I was living in Montgomery, Alabama. Well, I was thumbing from Montgomery. I had my guitar on my back when a stranger stopped beside me in an antique Cadillac. He was dressed like 1950, half drunk and hollow-eyed. He said, "It's a long walk to Nashville. Would you like a ride, son?" I sat down in the front seat. He turned on the radio, and them sad old songs coming out of them speakers was solid country gold. Then I noticed the stranger was ghost white pale when he asked me for a light, and I knew there was something strange about this ride. He said, Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings? He said, Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? Because if you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. Then he cried just south of Nashville, and he turned that car around. He said, This is where you get off, boy, because I'm going back to Alabama. As I stepped out of that Cadillac, I said, Mr. Many thanks. He said, You don't have to call me Mister. The whole
World
world calls
calls
me
me
Hank.
Hank.
And then he said, Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings? Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? Because if you're a big star, let me warn you, it's a long, hard
Yeah,
ride. Great song
great song.
in the way that he sings it gives you that eerie feeling at the beginning, like a ghost is in the car. It's really a good song. So
Yeah,
great poem too.
yeah. Thank you.
So there you have it. All right. Let me see. We are on to
While you're thinking, hey, here's a quick tarnation. Get yourself a hummingbird feeder. Put it in a prominent spot. We got 4 out there together. Um,
a
the hu-
video one where you can watch the video.
no, watching them live outside your
Oh,
window.
because
We
you
got,
have video one. There are video ones of them
yeah,
too.
no. And today we had dog fighting between a big one and a little one. It was so great.
About who was going to watch.
Well, there's
Yeah,
4
front
feeders.
row
I
seat.
I don't know why you got to fight over 4 feeders, but
Mhm.
I'll tell you this: they come here in late March and they'll be here till October. So if there's any of them at all in your neighborhood, they're going to your neighbors, and
Yeah.
you get one. They're coming to you, and make it someplace where you can see it often.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I was going to tell Sonia that I saw a video of it's a hummingbird feeder you can watch if
Yeah.
you want to with your eyes, but it's got an app to it. So if you weren't home to watch it, you could just call it up to feel good or see what was going on, and you can watch it because it's got a camera embedded in it, and it watches those birds right up close.
I got one of those for Christmas from Rita, and I said, give it to our neighbor. I don't
Yeah.
want to get involved in all the apps and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would enjoy it. All right, so let's do day in history.
Day in history.
Sammy, cue up the Derby, and then we'll close with Will Anderson.
I went 5 and 5, and Rita said this was not your best effort. I said, not my best effort. I missed the 7-year margin 4 times. I was off that by 1, but
Mhm.
I thought it was a pretty good effort. George Washington took the oath of office at Federal Hall in New York as the first president of the United States.
1776.
1777.
1789.
We were presidentless for 13 years.
Jeez.
Okay.
Well, we're still fighting.
Yeah, I guess.
The United States completed its purchase of the 828,000 square mile Louisiana territory from France for 60 million francs. Oops, I forgot to. That was a bonus.
Oh well.
You would have known that, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Probably,
Maybe.
maybe.
I mean, if the question would have been what was the French,
Who was it from?
yeah, I would have known that.
Okay.
I thought you were talking
You know
about
what?
Frank.
Give yourself one.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. The equivalent of about 15 million at the time. The acquisition roughly doubled the size of the United States.
It's a great question.
1810.
1840.
03, you're in there with your
Oh,
Nice,
let's
7.
Sam.
go.
Barely.
Nice job,
Good job,
Sam.
bud.
Nice. Engineer John Luther Casey Jones of the Illinois Central Railroad died in a train near Vaughan, Mississippi. Listen to this. Staying at the controls to slow his passenger train before it struck a stalled train near an approaching station. Jones was the only fatality. He was in the front. He was the only one killed.
Wow.
1892.
1910.
1900.
Oh, I
I'm 0
barely
for 3.
missed.
Things better get better.
As Soviet troops approached his Berlin bunker, Adolf Hitler took his own life, as did Eva Braun, whom Hitler married the previous day, his
Mm.
mistress.
1938.
That's a really good answer. 1940.
45.
You got it, Sam.
The
I was
war
in
the
there.
war was
Yeah,
trickling down to the end.
yeah.
As the Watergate
World War
scandal,
X? Was that one?
yeah.
So they were about to kill Adolf,
No,
and
no,
he
11.
11, yeah.
11, dude. As the Watergate scandal deepened, President Richard Nixon announced the resignation of top aides H.R. Haldeman and John Ehrlichman, Attorney General Richard G. Kleindienst, and White House counsel John Dean, though Dean was actually fired by Nixon.
1961.
1973.
73, the bonus.
Booyah.
Thank you. The Vietnam War ended as the South Vietnamese capital of Saigon fell to communist forces.
1979.
75.
75 for the bonus.
Booyah.
Let's remember this. Everything that we did to go to Vietnam and to help the South Vietnamese and to prevent the dreaded domino theory, it didn't really work out because it ended when the communists took over Saigon, the capital.
Mhm.
The European Organization of Nuclear Research, CERN, announced that the World Wide Web, which was invented by CERN 4 years earlier by Tom Berners-Lee, was free for anyone to use and released its source code to the public domain.
1990.
94.
93. You guys are all around it. Japanese 85-year-old Emperor Akihito abdicated his throne, ending his 3-year decade reign. His son, Crown Prince Naruhito, ascended to the throne.
2003.
2013.
2019.
Dang.
Okay. Is that it?
Was that it?
Scratch out a 6 and 3?
I've got, 7 and 3.
7 and 3. Nicely done.
I went 4. I
Booyah.
went 4 and 4.
One full.
Just before I forget, I want to tell you all that next Thursday, a week from today, we will not have a show. Jeff is going to be in
Lost wages.
out of town, and I will be at the National Day of Prayer, praying for the media, for our community.
Praying for my over under hockey bets to come
Yeah, there you
through.
go.
No,
So,
don't waste prayers on that.
So there will be no show next Thursday. So we will be here Tuesday, and then we'll just take a break and then see you the following Tuesday. So I got that out of the way. I want to share with you before we close. Let me just say our sponsor, and then we'll go to these two videos. Our sponsor is Hoosier Custom Meats out of Italy, Texas. Sammy will put them on the screen for you. You'll be able to see their website address and their phone number. Please tell them that the boys at GGN sent you. They have a ranch down there, farm. They raise great, all kinds of steaks, jerky, you name it, they've got it. Their food is great. So just reach out to them if you have a birthday for somebody coming up or holidays or whatever. They are a great place to go, and they're locally produced and locally owned. So thank you for sponsoring us, and we wanted to send them to you. I've got two videos that are really cool videos, and I'll set them up this way. We'll do one right after the other. The first one is the Kentucky Derby. So I love Kentucky Derby. I love horses. I wouldn't ride a horse, can't ride a horse, but I love God's creation of the horse, all animals, but particularly Chihuahuas and horses. In 2022, one of the most inspirational stories in all of sports happened at the Kentucky Derby, and it was that a horse the day before the Derby, which is on a Friday, and I'm mentioning this now because this Saturday is the Derby, a horse was scratched from the race. So they went out like they do in any boxing match. If one of the boxers gets scratched, they got to fill it. And so they went out and they found this horse named Rich Strike. Rather than Strike Rich, it's Rich Strike. And they said, let this horse join the field. It was a big field. He was 80-1 odds. I want you to watch this race. It takes not very long, but just watch and see if you can follow the trajectory of this horse.
Tomorrow had a great start and goes immediately to the early lead. Messier is Zozos as they race by us for the first time. It will be Summers tomorrow to lead the way. Round 5 on the outside second. Messier follows in third. Cyberknife is fifth to the outside. And then it's Tava charging behind them. Epicenter finds himself in mid-pack here. He next and then Sandin to the inside and right Omar. The leader on the far turn. It is Crown Pride battling with Messier. They're stride for stride. Epicenter and Zozos in behind them. Cyberknife speeds up on the outside. Sandin gets the rail run, and they're into the stretch. It is Messier, Crown Pride, then Epicenter is coming up on the outside. Epicenter has taken the lead as they arrive into the final furlong. Sandin is coming after him. Epicenter and Sandin, these two, stride for stride. Simplification down the outside and then they're coming down to the wire. Epicenter, Sandin,
We're gonna make the move on the inside rail.
on the inside. Oh my goodness! The longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby. Red Strike has done it in a stunning, unbelievable upset.
That's good, Sam. This horse was in last place. I mean, dead last. And I think there were 20 or some odd horses in that race. Dead last for almost the whole race. And he kicked it in at the end, and 80 to 1 odds won the race. It's an incredible story. And I could watch that over and over and over again and have. The last video I want to show you, just one about something we don't see very often, and that is humility coming from our professional sports leagues. This one happens to be in football, Houston Texans linebacker named Will Anderson Jr., who ironically played at the University of Alabama. But I wanted you to hear what he said. He just signed a huge contract, biggest contract ever for a linebacker in the National Football League. And I want to end the show with this video of what he had to say, what he did.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus, I owe all I am to you. Thank you for blessing me and keeping me and holding me together all these years. Without you, I am nothing. You have truly been gracious and loving to me. I love you and I will always glorify your name. Now all the glory to God, who is able through his mighty power at work within us to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. To my spiritual family, thank you for the prayers and keeping me grounded in the word. And never forgetting and never letting me forget how powerful God is and that he always has my back and is always standing on the front line with me. Thank you. To every little kid, teenager, boy or girl, young adult, don't be scared to be different. Rise above the expectations of what society wants you to be. With God, everything is possible. You are not what this world wants you to be, but everything God has called you to be. Walk in your purpose and your light, however that may look, and let nothing stop you. You are called, you are chosen, you are ordained, you are godly and holy, and most of all, you are loved. Whatever God has planned for you shall come to pass. Held high always, be bold. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for your Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Thank you.
Excellent. There you have it. Thank you for being here. May we all have that spirit and that attitude and that belief. Jeffrey, it's all yours.
Have a great day, and remember, try to put a smile on someone's face today. Boom.